We're on Baba Metzia Perik Tet Mishnah Hey, 5th Mishnah, 9th chapter. Amasachet Baba Metzia. Again, we're talking about din of kablanut, of a person who is a sharecropper in a field. And here we're talking about, okay, a kablanut, amakabel sadad mechavero, lemachtzeh leshlish leravia ka'aris. We're talking about arisut. Because remember, the other type of arisut, of kablanut, is called chakirut, where you have to pay a certain amount. So when you make an agreement to pay a certain amount, whether the field produces or not, you got to pay. So now we're going to talk about hamakabel sadam mechavero velo asata, and the field isn't producing. It's not a good year. And so the guy says, listen, lo asata doesn't mean at all, but it produces a little bit. Okay, tvua ela me'at, lo asata tvua, lo asta tvua ela me'at. It's producing a small amount. Ubalo ha'aris limnu amilitasek ba'od, and the aris, the sharecropper, says, I'm stopping work in the field. She'en ba'kedei tircho, it's not worth my while. Okay, and the owner of the field says, listen, I'll get what I get, but at least I get something. You have to work the field. So how much is enough to force the guy to work the field? So says the Mishnah, Im yeshba kedei laha'amid kri. If there's enough, laha'amid kri means to stand up. A kri is the pile. What they would do is, when they were done, they would take all the grain, when they were done producing the grain, and put it in a pile. So if there's enough to stand up in the pile, we'll see what that means in a second. Chayav l'tapel ba. Then the sharecropper still has to do the work, even though it's a terrible crop, he's not going to get a lot. Okay? Im yeshba, let's see the bar tunura. Im yeshba kedei la'asot mitzvuat takri. Enough to make a pile. Sheyesh kedei la'chasot harachat shezarimbo et hatzvuat. There's enough produce that to cover the rachat. Let's see I didn't know what a rachat was, so I looked up in the Jastro. Here's the address of the Jastro. A rachat is a winnowing shovel. Okay, if there's enough they had a special shovel that they would use for winnowing. They would winnow in the wind in order to separate the chaff and the dirt. So if there's enough to cover that winnowing shovel, I don't know, maybe it's standing up. I assume it's standing up, but who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it's on the ground. Who karov l'sa'atayim? That's close to 2 se'ah of grain. I have no idea how much that is. You can tell me if you know. Okay, then you have to do this. But if you don't have enough to laha'amid bokri, then you don't have to be metapel. The Kahati quotes the Gemara. The Gemara has a braita and says that in the agreement that they would write in the contract, the guy says he agrees, I will get up, ve'anir, I will plow, ve'ezra, and I will sow, ve'exor, and I will cut, ve'amer, and I will winnow, ve'adosh, ve'ezra, ve'amid kri, I will stand up a kri. So if there's enough, that's the language, laha'amid kri, I will stand up the kri. So if there's enough to do that, then he's obligated by the contract. If it's not enough, then he's not obligated. And that's karov l'sa'atayim, close to 2 se'ah of grain. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ma kitzvah b'kri. What is the point of saying an amount of a kri, of the sa'atayim? Meaning, en kitzvah zu ru'uya she'tahei sadeh gdola b'shir kri. Sadeh ktana, meaning, what if the field is bigger or smaller? You're giving an amount of sa'atayim. It depends how big the field is. Ella in yesh ba kedei nefila. Rather, we see if there's kedei nefila, koloma kashir mashazaraba. Meaning, kedei nefila means, is it enough? Is he producing at least the amount of grain that he used in order to sow the field? Then chayav l'tapel ba. So, if you're recouping anything more than you invested to sow the grain, then the sharecropper has to produce. But if not even that, then he doesn't have to produce. Because that's a tiny amount. It's not fair. If there's just enough to cover the seeds that he has to work the entire year in order to pay back a tiny amount of the owner of the field. All right, we'll stop here and dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.